Okay, welcome everyone. I am so excited. This is our first installment of these Super Skill Sundays, and I am just blown away by who we get to hear from and learn from today. It's none other than Kira Westwick from Australia. So, it was a hope and a prayer that I just, sent a little selfie video of love to see if she would ever be open, thinking that sometime this year I would be happy that she could come on, and she could come on this Sunday. So I feel so blessed. I know we're going to learn so much from her. You've seen her bio. It's long, and I know she has the heart of gold, and any chance that I've ever had the opportunity to learn from her, she's so open and shares everything. And so I will take very little time talking, and we'll just get right started and learning from Miss Kira Westwick from Australia. So thank you so much, Kira. If you could just come on and share your story before Juice Plus and then through Juice Plus, and then if we have time at the end, I have some burning questions to ask you. So please give me a warm welcome. Let's jazz hands in the air for Miss Kira Westwick. Yay!
Thanks so much. Well, my journey started 3 years ago, and actually my journey probably started more like over 6 years ago. Adam and I had health and fitness studios, and Linda Evenden, which many of you would have heard of Linda, she came into our studio and presented us with the Juice Plus product. And we realized that we had some mutual friends and common interests. And, I was intrigued by the product, and I decided to try the product, but I was absolutely not doing the business. But we settled on a friendship instead. And that friendship grew over the next 3 years. We became very close. The opportunity was always present in our life, but we definitely, we loved the product. We recommended the product, but we definitely were not going to do the business. And I think that's the biggest lesson right there that I could start with, is that Linda created a relationship with us, and she didn't quit her business because after 5 minutes of knowing us, we said no. She was committed to the long-term vision. She knew that this was not an overnight success thing, and that if she committed to the long-term vision, she would find the right people along the way that saw the same vision as her. Now, it just took us a long time to see that vision alongside her. We actually thought that she was crazy to think that she was ever going to be successful in Juice Plus. Loved her as a friend, really wanted her to be successful, but we secretly we're thinking, when is she going to give up? Because it's clearly not working. And thank goodness she didn't, not only for her own sake and how it's changed her life, but obviously ours as well. So at that point, about 3 years into our friendship, she had come over to the US conference, and she had met up with all the UK guys that back then were absolutely on fire. And she was hearing numbers and figures and promotions that she never thought was possible to do. And so that really inspired her that, it has to be possible. Australia has to be able to do the same thing. And there's another lesson right there, is that Linda didn't sit on her hands waiting for someone to lead her. She went and found the information that she needed, the people that she needed to help her get her business moving. So she was proactive. If there wasn't training, if there wasn't resources, she would create them rather than sitting around and waiting. So she connected with these guys, and she had another event where she was going to have one of the gentlemen from England Zoom in, and she contacted Adam and she said, look, I know that we said we're never going to talk about this before, but I'd really love you to come and hear this. And I think this was a turning point for Adam, because he's a businessman and smoothie parties did not inspire him. He didn't understand how people were going to be successful doing smoothie parties and never talking about the business. And that's why he was never inspired to join personally. Not to say that they're not valuable for people. It's just not necessarily the best business building strategy. And so he went along to this meeting and he heard a man talk about the real business behind this for the first time. He really saw that this actually was a legitimate business, and these people were really out loud and proud about that. And so that really turned the lights on for him. He saw the opportunity for what it was. And he came home and he said to me, I'm going to give this a go. And I said, no, you're not. Oh my God, I cannot believe you're going to do Juice Plus. Like, not only like, I can't believe you're going to do one of those businesses, but you're working 70 hours a week. I never see you. Our relationship is strained. I'm sick of doing breakfast and dinner on my own. And now you're going to go and add another business to that. I was fuming. And then within a couple of months, Linda had convinced him to go to the next US conference, which I also took a long time to forgive both of them for, because we were not in a financial position, let alone did I not see the vision yet. And so he went off on that adventure and came back with even more vision for what this was going to be. And I was the unsupportive partner. So there's another lesson there. You know, you have to go to work and prove to your partner that you are going to change your life with this business. And, you know, if you really do see that potential, then you have to stay true to your heart, because at the end of the day, you're doing this for your family. And so within 7 months, he'd made over $40,000, which at the current financial position we were in was very impactful. And at that point, I started to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, we'd had 10 years nearly in traditional business. It was running us into the ground, and we were just desperate and, you know, and desperate to find another way. And I saw that this could be it. So the challenge at that point was that I'd been a stay-at-home mum for 8 years. I was excruciatingly low on self-confidence and self-belief. And the biggest story I'd been telling myself for 10 years was, I'm a shy person. I don't like talking to people I don't know. And Adam had grown accustomed to talking for me when we were in social settings. And he's very out loud and charismatic. So he naturally kind of just adapted into that role. So I had a lot of pain, a lot of desire to change our life, but a huge amount of fear and attachment to my comfort zone. But luckily, the financial strain, and more importantly, the strain on my relationship with Adam, that financial and time strain was, you know, placing on us. You know, my relationship with him is more important to me than anything in the world. So that really just gave me enough courage to give this a go and to stretch myself. And because you're a part of a team that show you how to do this one step at a time. You don't even have to see the big picture. You can literally, I don't know what you call it in Canada, but our first level is DVF. And it's equivalent to 3 premium orders, and that's it. And, you know, I just thought, I can do that. I can focus on that, and I can do that. And obviously everyone's believing in me before I believed in myself. And that's what I did. I just approached the business one step at a time. And I think, you know, you have to be willing to get outside your comfort zone though, because so many of us in this business, and I was one of them at one point in time, I actually sat around for nearly 12 months. 6 months really, but then another 6 months where I did commit but didn't fully commit, where I was waiting for the confidence and I was waiting for the passion before I really truly got into all that action. And the problem with that is the only thing that creates confidence is action. And so if you're not confident, but you're waiting to be confident to get in action, unfortunately, you're just going to continue on that vicious cycle. Because the only way to grow through that and to build self-belief is to actually do the work. And so you have to take a risk to take a step off that cliff and find out that you can fly if you really want to. And that's what it comes down to, because every single one of you on this call have unlimited potential, all the potential in the world to be successful at whatever you want to be successful in. That is the absolute truth of who you are. So it depends on whether you want to keep telling yourself the BS stories that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not confident, or whether you want to push that to the side and actually even just take one step into action so that your confidence can grow a little bit, and then take another step in action so it grows that little bit more. And then, you know, I decided I was doing that, but the passion still wasn't there. And it really wasn't until I 100% committed with all of my being. It was a very definitive moment in my business. It was 6 months into kind of committing, which was 6 months after I actually joined the business. and then I was at a conference. I was SC the slow way. I'd missed my fast track. And everyone around me was getting recognized. Adam was getting recognized. I had my own team there that I wanted to recognize. And, you know, at that point, I still hadn't found my voice, and Adam was really talking for me. And I had this moment of just crushing, like frustration and anger at myself, frustration at Adam for talking over me when I felt like I'd found my voice, but kind of still in that pattern. And like, it was just this moment of enough was enough for me. And I had to remove myself from the recognition party because I felt like I was going to scream. Like I felt like I'd been voiceless for so long that it was like screaming inside of myself, but I wasn't able to let that out. And I went back to my hotel room and I just decided then and there, that's it. I can do this just like anybody else that has been on stage this weekend. And I'm the only one that can take responsibility for how how annoying and lazy and full of excuses my life had been for the past 8 years. And that I had to step up and take responsibility for that. It was no one else's fault but my own, that I had put myself in the background against the wall and, watched everybody else shine and grow. I just decided in that moment I was going to be so loud that no one could ignore me, and that I was going to catch up to everyone that had gone before me, and that, I was going to put my name on the list of someone to look out for. And I think 2 months later, I was QNMD 12 Club, and then 3 months after that, I was NMD 39 Club. And that's when the passion hit. That's when I became Juice Plus addicted, Juice Plus brain damage hit. And I had to be reminded to take time out rather than actually work on my business. So that's kind of my story to where I am today. And obviously there was many roadblocks. I was incredibly unresourceful when I first joined my business. I was looking for every reason to blame, shame, and justify head office, the compensation plan, my upline, of why this would never work. And, the beauty of when you take responsibility, it can be challenging to take a look in the mirror and realize it's all you and it's all up to you. Success is 100% your responsibility. But the beauty of looking in the mirror is realizing that your future, your destiny is yours to create. And you can create and have whatever you want, but you just have to get up and be willing to do it, because no one's going to do it for you. That's when my life transformed, when I took that responsibility. And so where I am today is I have a voice. I still have the stories, the patterns that I'm a shy person and all of that. But the more inaction I get, that is opposing to that, when I'm in social situations, I push outside my comfort zone, I talk to people, I connect with people, I focus on others. We have so much suffering. It's because we're so focused on ourselves, focused on what do we look like, what do people think of us, and all this BS that nobody really cares about. It's just self-suffering and just focusing on ourselves all the time. And when you get out of your head and into your heart and you actually focus on serving others, all of a sudden those stories disappear, because when you're in service to others, you're not focused on how you look and how you feel and if I'm confident and all of those negative stories that are just a story that you've made up. And, when you realize that if you're so amazing at telling such crappy stories for your life, why not become a storyteller of something amazing? That you're an amazing networker and that you love serving and helping others, that it's your responsibility in this business to serve and help as many people, that you must get out of your own way to do that. Rewrite a new story for yourself. Stop telling yourself, like I did for 10 years, that I'm shy and I don't like talking to people that I don't know, because not only was that ruining my business, it was ruining my life. It was damaging my friendships. I couldn't even be in friendship circles with people that were close to me and, really connect, because I was in my head. I was never in my heart. I think that's the biggest gift of this business, is who you become. But if you're not committed to growing, if you're not committed to growth, your business will never grow, because your business will only grow as big as you do. So part of my journey every single day is recognizing that when I started this business, I was not an NMD leader. So it was my responsibility to do the work to grow into a leader of an NMD business. So, personal development is absolutely essential. It's a part of my daily life. It comes in many different forms for me: podcasts and YouTube clips and meditation and going to the gym and looking after myself first and scheduling in my diary me time to do that over any other time as a priority. If you're not willing to do that stuff, then you can't complain about the results you didn't get for the work that you didn't do. So I don't know, in a nutshell, that's kind of my story, but it's changed our life. Within 9 months, we were able to close our traditional business, which was, I felt like, was destroying our life. We've, moved into our dream home, and we just, and when I say a dream home, it is a beautiful home, but what I love about it is it's right next to the beach, and the lifestyle that it brings, and the time with our family, and that's our greatest value. So the fact that Adam actually has breakfast with us every morning and gets to skateboard the kids to school and gets to pick them up, and we get to hang out and have dates together every day, and he gets to have daddy dates every week with the girls, and it's just incredible, the choices that it's given us. So that's our story.
Oh, thank you. I was getting emotional and goosebumps. Like I don't think I knew the depth of your story. So thank you so much for being so vulnerable and true. And I'm so glad you found your voice. We need those
Yes.
out there, and you're killing it. And it's amazing. And something about you guys, and I think we are so similar in that personal development is, like you say, it's essential. Is there some things that you always recommend? Is there different things that you recommend for your new people as opposed to the ones that are moving up into leadership? What are your, you've got to read this before we can?
Yeah, definitely. So in the beginning, you want to try and underwhelm people, because there's a lot to learn. This is a real business. So as you would expect, there's a lot to take in, a lot to learn, and you want them to focus on one step at a time. And we only have a certain amount of time in a day. So we do have to be conscious of how much time we're, getting people to focus on personal development versus just getting in action so that they can get a result, so their confidence can grow. So it's finding that balance. In the beginning, I think the biggest thing to go to work on is building belief. And, we talk about belief in 4 different areas. So obviously product belief, company, so Juice Plus the company, because we've built a legitimate business. And, if that were to go tomorrow because the company did something that, wasn't in line with, a flourishing business, and obviously that jeopardizes our business. So making sure you're aligned with a company that you believe in, making sure you believe in the industry. And that was my downfall for 12 months. That's why I didn't really get in action, other than my self-confidence. And then the last one is self-confidence. If you can't rate yourself 10 out of 10 in those, then you have a problem. And I don't believe that your business will ever flourish until self-belief you can fake until you make it. But the other 3, this is a business. You have to have a 10 out of 10 in all of those. If you don't, it's your responsibility to go to work on it. I didn't go to work on it. I chose to ignore Linda and Adam for 12 months. They told me to watch specific links and I didn't. Adam used to do team training in our house and I didn't get on it. And so no wonder I wasn't inspired, and that I was embarrassed to share what I was doing. My industry belief in particular was very low. And I know you guys are in Canada, and I'm not sure if this transfers, but I know America in particular has an incredibly low belief in the industry. They're ashamed to say that they're a part of network marketing, and I think they try and convince themselves that they're not. And I think this is such a shame, and this was me in the beginning too, so I can put my hand up for that. But when I went to work on that, I am so 100% committed to this industry now. I think you're crazy if you're not a part of it. And I'll be a part of the movement that reshapes the way people think and feel about it. I don't think there's another industry in the world that allows so many average, everyday people to become millionaires and change their life. Not to say that that's everybody's goal with this, but that opportunity is there for everyone if that's what they want. And yeah, I'm 100% proud now to say that I do network marketing. And because my belief and certainty is so strong now, that certainty became so attractive to people, and that's how I grew so quickly. And I don't get neg ferrets. We call them neg ferrets. People don't pay out on me for being in this industry because my certainty and belief is stronger than their lack of belief in this. So people never challenge me. And, so the first thing that we recommend is people go and listen to, and it was one link that changed it for me in an hour. I didn't even have to listen to the others to have the 10 out of 10 belief. But it was How to Build Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. I absolutely loved it. It really appealed to me because he starts by talking about health, and that's obviously my passion. So I think he drew me in before he even got talking about the network marketing. But I really love that one. It's so easy to listen to. It's just common sense. It's not trying to convince. It's just kind of factual. The other one is Rise of the Entrepreneur. And then in terms of business skills, GoPro is a must. And we say, listen to it 10 times. If you haven't listened to it 10 times, if you couldn't tell me the chapters off by heart, then you haven't listened to it. So either listen to it or read it. We do a lot of audio. I find audio is better because you can multitask. We're all busy. If you can do two things at once, awesome. Exercise and do your personal development at the same time, or drive and do your personal development at the same time. So that's what I get people to start with. Podcasts are amazing. MLM Nation is a great one. There's loads of different ones. I really try and focus and recommend people focus on personal development in all of the areas of their life that you really need to develop yourself in if you truly want to have the best life possible. So I mix it up. So obviously do business development. There's an interesting thing if you look at the millionaires in the world, the people who have abundance, which you're worthy of, by the way. And I think that it's sinful if you're not chasing it, because it's available and you were born to live a life of abundance. So if you want to keep telling yourself the story that it's bad to have abundance, I think you need to go to work on that, because you can be a better person when you have more, because you have more to give. You've got more time to help people. You've got more finances to help people. We're not in suffering and survival mode anymore. So we can actually serve so many people now that we have abundance. So abundance is a good thing. However, people who are more successful, they have a different pattern of thinking. So you've got to train your mind for success. So obviously business development, money management, all of that stuff. Like I'm always conscious to work on that stuff, because I wasn't brought up with parents who trained my mind for success. I was in the general game of go to school, get a job, let someone tell me what to do for the rest of my life and just do that, which obviously doesn't break the pattern of just surviving. And the other areas that are incredibly important to me is health. So I listen to stuff around health each week as well. And parenting is probably my most important thing that I develop myself on. So listening to audio books on conscious parenting and relationships as well. I do a lot of personal development on, how to have the best, most passionate, most amazing relationship with my husband, how I can show up as the best wife, the best parent, the best leader. Making sure that you have balance with that, because there's no point in building an amazing business and all this abundance if no one wants to be around you because you weren't such a nice person while you did that. Making sure that you're growing yourself in every area is really important to me. So Tony Robbins is a really great one to start with. Jim Rohn is incredible. If you YouTube Jim Rohn, there's so many 5-10 minute clips that even if you committed for the next month, that you started your day with a 5-minute personal development clip every morning. Like, he is the original before Tony Robbins. Like, his stuff is awesome. So it doesn't have to take hours of your time. It's just that, we have a saying, if you don't stay close to the fire, obviously your inspiration is going to die down. So that little bit every day can just keep that fire burning bright and keep you on track.
I'm like fist pumping in the air here. You are speaking my language. You are. I love it. I'm going to try and, I've got so many questions for you, but I'm just going to start with a couple. So I remember talking to you guys in the pool, and we were saying, you were kind of saying that you didn't have a lot of like friends and family in your team at that point, and so you did a lot of cold market recruiting. And how does that look, and what's kind of like some of your go-to lines? And if someone asks you, well, what do you do? How do you respond?
Yeah, so it was really important to us to never be one of those typical network marketers that give network marketing a bad name. I've never written a list of my friends. I've never hunted them down. I've never called them all and tried to get them to join my business. I'm in a business of attracting people who are looking for something. I'm not going to waste a second of my time trying to convince someone who is not looking. I can certainly inspire someone to show them that they can have more, and maybe this is a vehicle to do that. But I'm going to broadcast that and create rapport and relationships individually with people, so that if they are looking, then I'm the person that they think of. So number one is that long-term vision, and knowing that you're not going to find a team of people that, want to go to the top in your first 6 months of starting this business. It takes time. You've got to be committed to the 4 to 5 year career, and know that after, during that time, it will change your life. But just like every traditional business, it doesn't happen overnight. For me, I was fortunate enough. I think the biggest skill you need to learn is how to add value. And I was very fortunate enough to have already done that on social media when I joined this business. So I have several social media pages, which for 5 years was just adding value, recipe ideas, healthy living inspiration, how to raise happy, healthy kids with good nutrition. So I'd given away so much of my time and knowledge and resources for free for 5 years. So I had a community that trusted me and that loved my message. So the lesson there is, go to work on that today. Do you wake up every day and ask yourself, how do I add value today to my community? If you haven't added any value, then you have to know that for the next 12 months, it's going to take time for people to fall in love with you and know that you're the person that does that regardless of outcome. It's not because you're looking for something in exchange. It's just who you are. And it can be in many ways. It doesn't have to be through health. You may be in an industry already where you can find ways just to add value to people and create relationships and rapport, genuinely connect with people and show them that you care and check in with people. And that's what Linda did with us for 3 years, is she had a genuine friendship with us, so that when we were looking, she was the person that we went to. Whereas if she had a lost contact with us, if we had decided to get in several years later, we probably wouldn't have gone to her. Number one, add value. And that's how I use social media personally. I just add value every day. In my personal opinion, I don't think it would be too much different where you guys are. Most people, okay, some people may have heard about Juice Plus and they're looking for Juice Plus, but I would say a very small minority of your customers, that's the case. Most people have zero idea that they're looking for Juice Plus. So you posting Juice Plus all over Facebook makes you one of those salesy network marketing people, which is awkward and frustrating for your friends. People know that they're looking for more energy, better health, thinking better, sleeping better, better hair, skin, nails. Now, we can't make those claims, but we can certainly share our own personal testimonial of why we love the product. So leading with stories, about, and the business, even more so powerfully on the business, leading with stories. Never underestimate how much an extra $500 or $1,000 a month impacts someone's life. So sharing those stories on social media of those life changes, not that you're a part of Juice Plus and who wants to join my team. That's not what people are looking for. They don't realize that what they're looking for comes in the form of Juice Plus. So you can't lead with Juice Plus. You've got to lead with what they're looking for. And that's how you create curiosity. And once they reach out through that curiosity, if you take a genuine interest in them and their needs and grow a conversation and connection around their needs, there'll be an opportunity for you to bring up how this might be something for them. So at that point where they are curious, it's important to turn down the exciter meter and not spew all over them. Oh my goodness, it's Juice Plus. You've got to come check it out. It's amazing. Because they still don't know that they're looking for Juice Plus. Right? They're looking for someone to care. They're looking for change in their life, but they're scared. They probably don't have enough vision yet to even believe that they could be successful at a business like this, right? I certainly didn't. I needed someone to really just take an interest in where my life was at, meet me where I was at, help me build a vision of what this could be for me, share stories of women just like me who were able to overcome their challenges. And that's our job. So the other thing, I had something else in my mind around it. So that's how I use social media. What was your full question? It might come back to me.
So if you're out and you're meeting people, like if someone says,
oh yes, I've got it, it's back. Yes. Okay. So, and this is the other thing. If someone asks me what I'm doing, what do you do? There is zero chance that I would ever say I do Juice Plus. I would never say that. That is the death to that conversation. They will not continue that conversation. Because once again, they're not looking for Juice Plus. if I'm at a coffee shop and I've just met a mum and we're chit-chatting, or, I go to there's one particular clothing shop that I love and I'm in there all the time, and it's, it's not Target prices, it's a little bit more expensive, and they see my freedom and flexibility, and so that, they start asking questions like, what do you actually do? You clearly don't work, kind of thing, because I'm always out and about. And, if someone asks me that question, depending on who I'm talking to, I have a very specific niche and vision and passion. But, I'm a little bit like, a lot of it is mums, but really it's women, empowering women. So whether it's a mum or a woman, I'm going to share it slightly differently. If it's a mum and they say, what do you do? I'm going to share something along the lines of, I help mums create an income from home so they can choose mum care instead of daycare. Now, what mum who is financially strained, who either is facing the prospect of having to go back to work once maternity leave is over, or they're sacrificing a second income and just surviving, what mum is not going to say, what? How do you do that? Right? So they're inviting me to share more. Now, at this point, I'm not going to spew on them, oh my goodness, it's Juice Plus. I'm still never going to say that, right? I'm going to plant one more little seed. And I'm just going to plant little seeds. I'm not going to spew every bit of information over them because that's how they feel sold to. I'm going to keep getting them to invite me to share more. I'm going to plant another curiosity seed and they're going to ask me another question. So I never feel awkward because they're inviting me to share the information that I have. And I'm not going to focus on what it is. I'm going to focus on the stories. 3 years ago, we met a guy from the UK. He was creating this income from home and it really inspired us. We thought, what if we could make 10% of that? That would change our life. We were really financially struggling. And so he showed us how to do that. And now, and I'm going to share the story of how it's changed our life according to how I feel like it's going to resonate with them. What part of my story is going to resonate with them? If you feel like your story doesn't, when we didn't have our own story, we used to share the people who inspired us to join. We used to share their stories. So you get to share the stories around you. Share the success that's happening around you, and that these are the people mentoring you and helping you do the same. So you've got to know what your vision is. Stop trying to catch everybody, because every successful company in the world knows that it's more powerful to niche than it is to try and sell to everybody. So be you. Don't make up a brand that doesn't represent who you are, because it's going to be like pulling teeth. I am a mother. I struggled with self-confidence. There are a million women out there in the exact same position that want to break free, that know they're capable of so much more, that are living in sadness and frustration because they know the potential is there, but they just don't know how to use it or access it or believe in it. And my job is to help and serve those people. And there's enough of them that I don't have to focus on anyone else. And that's why my business attracts so many people, because I'm vulnerable with that story. And people are like-minded people are attracted to that. People can pick up on you not being genuine with your vision and what it is that you want to create. When Adam joined this business, he had a vision for for changing our life and giving us choices and helping other families do the same. Had he created it before people joined him? No. But, when you look at the great leaders in the world and the speeches that will be forever remembered in time, quite often they hadn't achieved their vision yet, but people bought into where they were going because the conviction was so strong. So you need conviction around your vision of where you are going, and people will buy into that. Stop running the story that I'm not successful yet, so no one wants to join me. Okay, that's complete BS, right? It's just that you haven't spent time creating a compelling vision that people actually want to join. Besides building your belief, that's the next biggest thing you could ever do for your business, is build a vision that is compelling, that is true to you, that gets you out of bed every day. I don't need any more money. Like, we're earning incredible, insane. Like, I find it hard to believe. So I don't get up every day because of that anymore. I get up because it's my responsibility to pass that gift on to other families. And that's what drives me, the emotional revenue. What is your emotional revenue?
I love it. I love it. I just have two more questions, and then we'll let you carry on with your day. The one is, thank you, again, this is so.
You're welcome.
So if, like I know so much of your guys' organizations are going wide. What would you say to the people just starting out, or the people, like, how important and how do you teach your teams to go wide and not be one wagon?
Yeah, I'm not, I don't know how you guys do it over there, but I'm not, I'm 100% not in support of stacking. I think that it's our job to help people help themselves. Yeah, I've witnessed other teams do that. And sooner or later you get stuck, and it all comes undone, because if you don't teach people to work for it, you may get to a certain level, but your organization will not grow beyond that unless people are working for themselves. There's only so much you can do. So it's your job to raise up leaders who are helping themselves. So my business is incredibly wide. I show up for people, but I don't do it for them. So it's all about setting that culture and expectation from day one that success is 100% your responsibility. I'm here to do it with you. I can't do it for you. Success doesn't come for free. I will show you every step of the way, but if you're not taking those steps, then I'm not going to show up. And it starts with that culture of showing up to team training. If someone's not getting on our Monday night team training, which is a non-negotiable, Adam and I think, have missed 2 in 3 years, and we've arranged someone to take it for us. So we show up every week. All excuses are equal. I've got kids, I have all the excuses that everybody has. But if they're not even getting on that, then there's no one-on-one calls. It's you've got to teach your team to respect your time as well as respect themselves. So you've got to set that culture from day one. That's kind of my belief and model on it. It's also building their belief that there are thousands of people looking. So stop telling yourself that it's hard, or everyone's saying no, or I don't know anyone. You walk past hundreds of people every day, and everybody just about is in financial pain. So you need to get over that story. And there's always someone in the team who has less of an advantage, but they're bringing on loads of people. So you've got to get out of your own way with that. And yeah, I think it's important to go wide. The benefits of going wide are many. It's most security for your business. It builds momentum and payline quicker. You get paid on payline. There's a lot of, clubs are important. You actually get paid on payline. So making sure that payline is in growth all the time. And I've just always had the commitment to myself that the only person I can rely on is me. I can't expect anything from any team member. They're all a blessing. Anything they do, I come from appreciation, not expectation. So if I have a goal, it's my job to chase that goal and achieve it, not to expect my team to show up and achieve it for me. So that has driven the width of my business. We have another saying that 1 in 5 will be a diamond. So if you're not finding 5 people, I had a goal at one point. I don't anymore because I'm managing so much, but I was looking for 5 new team a month. And I think whatever you believe in is going to show up for you. If you focus on 1 being hard and it's such a struggle, your business will be a struggle. If you focus on 3 as a stretch goal, 2 as a survive goal, then you'll get out and do the work to find 2 people. It's the survival mode for me, when you're building, it's not up to me to tell you what it should be, but, at least 1 a month. But I would set it above that personally and go to work on finding those people.
I love it. You are, so true. Okay, so the final question, and we'll let you carry on with your day. So you've just grown massively. You've had all the success. You've grown as a person. What is a moment where you just sat back and kind of were just had that, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is my life? Can you think of that where?
Yeah, every day my husband and I have a moment where we might be, it could be any time of the day, but we might just be sitting there taking time out because we eat lunch together most days. I mean, I'm sitting at his desk right now. You guys can see mine. My computer thing isn't working at the moment. But yeah, we have moments all the time where we pinch ourselves that this is our life and how far we've come. We reflect on it all the time. We are conscious to live in moments of gratitude as often as possible. you know, a really big highlight for us this year in July was that we took our kids to the snow, and it was the first time I was seeing snow. So not only was I seeing it for the first time because of this business, but I was able to take my children there and experience it with them. And it wasn't it wasn't like, oh, we have to stay at the hotel we can afford. And, you know, like we stayed in a magnificent home with some of our best friends in the world, and got to say yes to everything. We got to do lessons every day, and you know, skiing is not a cheap thing by any means, and we didn't have to worry about any of it. All we had to worry about was creating the most amazing memorable experience. You know, we went on a helicopter, and it was just incredible. And you know, obviously those big moments you realize, but truthfully, if you can't have a moment every day where you see how far you've come and be grateful for what you already have, then you know it's not going to continue to get better. So being conscious every day, I think, is really important.
Beautiful. Any you know, your favorite quote you want to leave us with before we stop the recording and let everyone thank you?
Yeah, I think I always share the same quote because I think it's so true, and it's by Tony Robbins, and that is: the only reason why you don't have the life of your dreams is because of the bullshit stories you keep telling yourself of why you can't have it. You have the same potential as anyone on this planet to be anyone, do anything, have anything, and the problem is it's all up to you. So get out of your own way. Start rewriting the stories. It's not to say that it becomes easy if you've had 40 years of telling yourself the same nonsense story about who you are. You know, it does take work, and it does take commitment. It takes personal growth. But I think it starts with becoming conscious. And, you know, a tip that I can leave you with that's really helped me, I know meditation isn't for everyone, but being in a meditative state is literally taking a deep breath and just taking 60 seconds to breathe and focus on your breath and clear the mind so you can feel the truth of who you are. You know, I think when we really quieten the mind and all that noise and we feel the truth of who we are, for me personally, it gives me confidence to keep stepping up and growing and doing the things that scare me. You know, just a month ago, we had our 90-day game plan, and public speaking is still not my thing. I don't know if it'll ever be my thing. I have weeks of anxiety before I get on stage, and I have to continually remember the truth of who I am and that I'm just there to serve. And, you know, it just comforts me. You know, I can remember how far I've come, but it's just comforting to know that I can do this. So yeah, stop telling yourself those stories, start working on a better story for yourself, and it's your responsibility to have more and to be more in this world so that you can serve others more than you are now.
Amen, sister. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording so that everyone can think.